Hello and welcome back to another video from Carolina's Cottage. This is Johnny. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I used chalk paint, decoupage paper, and some IOD products to create some very cute French country decor pieces. I think this first piece is really cute as it is, and I almost didn't paint over it, but it's just really not something that I thought would sell in my space. It's cute, but I needed to step it up a little bit and give it something with style that would make people want to use it in their decor. So this is what I came up with. These changes will help it go from being just a laundry room piece of decor to being appropriate for anywhere. I'm starting out by removing the hardware so that it's easier to paint. I'm giving this 2 coats of Paint Couture's Farmhouse Linen. This is a chalk style paint, and I will have a little bit more information linked in the description below. I'll be using a cutout from a free printable online source, Graphics Fairy, and I'll put that link down below, and I'm just using some decoupage medium to apply this. I put 2 coats of a clear top coat on this, and then I'll install the hardware back on that, and that's really all I did to this piece. This next piece had a nice little verse on the bottom of it, but I felt like the style of the piece was outdated. So I also updated this to make it look a little bit more French country. And what I added to this is decoupage paper as well as some castings that I molded. I will paint the back of this piece as well as remove the sticker, and I do this on all of my pieces, but what I'm doing here is just getting, this is kind of a rounded top piece, so I'm just starting at the back here to make sure that all of that gets covered. I'm just taking a look at my piece of decoupage paper to make sure it's going to fit and to get it centered on this piece. And I will link this decoupage paper in the description below. I really like this and a couple others I've gotten recently on the Paint Couture website because they have gold embossing as a part of the top layer, and it really adds to your piece. I will include an affiliate link in the description below this video. This will allow you to get 10% off of anything you purchase from the Paint Couture website using my link. Once this dries, I will lightly sand the sides to clean up those edges. Usually when I'm adding castings from some of the molds to pieces, I use air dry clay or paper clay, but I had made some pieces ahead of time. I was trying out my hot glue gun in some of the molds, and I made several pieces using that. And since this is a flat piece, I decided I would use that instead of making paper clay molds for this, and I think it turned out just fine. If you are enjoying this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps me get my video out to more people on YouTube. And if you're joining for the first time, please let me know in the comments below, especially if you have come over from one of the Facebook groups. Welcome if you're new, and welcome back if you've been here before. The next two pieces are identical shapes, but it looks like someone hand painted different designs on each one, so I will redo those separately but in a style that could be used together. I'll be chalk painting it and then adding decoupage paper and air dry clay. All of these decoupage papers that I'm working with today are rice paper, and they are so much easier to work with than napkins. And really, the price of napkins has gone up so much, especially if you have to buy them individually, that the rice paper is no more expensive and is easier to work with. I'm going to add an air dry clay casting to this piece. It's best to dust your molds with cornstarch before adding the air dry clay. That helps them release very easily from the molds. I painted this one with pale gold metallic paint from Paint Couture. I find that it's best to paint the piece separately if it's going to be a different color than the background. I forgot to turn my camera on when I was gluing this piece and the little piece of print decoupage below, but those were just two simple things to finish this piece up. And this next piece will get the same technique but a little bit different look. For the air dry clay casting on this one, I'm going to modify one of the Iron Orchid Designs molds and limit where the clay will go in the mold by putting some hot glue there and letting it dry, but this will allow me to make just the sheep's head and give it a clean edge. I'm making up my own design here for this one, but that's the beauty of using air dry clay. It's so bendable and easy to cut. So if you don't have the exact mold that you want for a piece, you can really easily modify the pieces that you have. These last two pieces are a repainting of a piece that I had painted previously. So this one I had painted a couple of years ago, and I had stamped it with an Iron Orchid design stamp that I really love. It sat in my space for all this time and didn't sell. I brought it home and I've used it some at home, but I decided I would go ahead and give it a lighter background and use some country French stamps on it, but a little bit different pattern than this floral swag stamp that's on it. I'm giving it a couple of coats of Paint Couture's Farmhouse Linen to cover this charcoal color that's on it. I will also add some very small wooden feet to this to raise it up just a little, and I think that's going to help give it a better look as well. Before I stamp this, I'm going to measure about a ½ an inch around the edge of this piece and then use a light coat of weathered wood antiquing glaze from Paint Couture. This will just bring out the features that give it a French country look. I'll just use one thin coat of this glaze, and after that dries, I will use the Iron Orchid design stamps from Rose Toile, I think it's called. You'll notice this has some missing pieces of veneer at different places on this old box, but that's sort of the beauty of it, and it helps it look aged. It looks like just a handmade box that someone made from a few pieces of plywood. Those are the things that give these pieces character. This is the other piece that I'll be doing a makeover on. I had painted this about a year ago. I will give it a different color scheme. I'm going to use duck egg blue on this and some ivory trim. I'll also give it a little antiquing with weathered wood antiquing glaze, and I think it's going to have a very different look. I will put the name of the IOD stamp I use in the description below. I'm making sure to press the stamp down very firmly across the seam on this wooden basket because I don't want a gap in the stamp. I let the stamp dry for several hours, and then I put a clear top coat over this piece before I applied the antiquing glaze. This allows me more control with the glaze, and it also prevents me from removing paint as I wipe away the glaze. Use as much or as little of the antiquing glaze as you like according to your personal taste and in the areas that you want to shade. You just apply that to the areas that you think are going to make it look more aged, and you can always wipe away what you don't like or reapply if you wipe off too much. Let's take a closer look at all 6 of these items. We gave each one of these a little bit different variation of the French country theme. Please remember to give this video a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for watching today. I hope you watch more of my videos, and I will see you in the next one.